This webinar is focused around the FPI Corporate Partnership, and more specifically, what does this partnership mean for the different employees of the corporate partnership? Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Shirma Malan and I am the Head of Department for Corporate and Member Relations at the FPI. During this webinar, we will be focusing on the following 4 points. So the first one is just to introduce the FPI, what is our vision and our mission. And I would also like to then highlight what is the corporate partner strategic vision that we have with this engagement with corporates. I'm going to touch also on the FPI corporate partner value proposition, and this is very much specific to the employee that is employed at a corporate partner. And lastly, I would like to position how this all fits into the financial planning landscape in South Africa, together with some research. We call it the Comparator research, the CFR survey. Let's look then at the vision of the FPI. Now, our vision says professional financial planning for all, and I think you will agree with me that this is a very wide and a very ambitious statement. Ultimately, our belief is that all consumers in South Africa should have access to professional financial planning and advice, and all of our strategy or strategic objectives are focused around that. Our mission statement that is very relevant to the corporate partnership is to advance and promote the preeminence and the status of financial planning professionals, while at all times acting in the interest of the society whom the profession serves. So you will see here there's two areas here. So the one is where we are concerned about protecting the consumer, and one way that we do this is by providing professional financial planners and financial advisors, and we promote them as such to the consumer. So these two things, although it's two different aspects of the same coin, it cannot be differentiated too much. In terms of the corporate partnership, this corporate partner was established specifically to raise the competency levels of financial planners and financial advisors through various development initiatives. The development processes provides financial planners with a learning pathway towards then specifically the CFP professional designation. Now, to become a CFP professional, there's quite a number of rigorous certification standards that a person needs to meet, and these standards is what we refer to as the 4 E's, which is education, examination, experience, and ethics. Later in the webinar, I will also be touching on some of these in more detail. What is important for us is that the FPI vision and then the purpose of this corporate partnership needs to speak to the specific strategic vision of the corporate partner, so of the other organization. It is important to have this alignment between what it is that the FPI wants to achieve and can deliver upon with then what the corporate partner wants to achieve. And without that synchronization and cooperation, this corporate partnership will not necessarily come to its full fruition. Now, out of our current corporate partners that we have, there's quite a number of various objectives that they want to address with this. One of the most common ones is where the corporate partners indicate that they ultimately want to professionalize their workforce. And one of the ways then is to put their advisors and their planners on the pathway to become CFP professionals. Other objectives that we find is collaboration on transformation agendas, on client centricity, preparing for the regulatory changes that's coming into the near future. All of those different things are aspects where you can find a fit between what the organization or the corporate partner wants and what the FPI can offer. Let me discuss with you what the value proposition is, and this is the 6 areas that we present to the management and the decision makers at the various corporates that we engage with, that we say this is the areas where we can make a difference. So the first area is the pathway to certification, and I'll explain to each person or to each employee how this is relevant to you. We also then present to them the Mentorship Center and how that can become relevant then in assisting the corporate partner to achieving their training and development needs with their employees. We talk about continuous professional development with them, and we also highlight the co-branding and the joint initiatives. Now, I do think that is much more relevant for each person that would be listening to this webinar. What is in this webinar for you? So what can I expect from this, and how can I benefit from this? So I will also then touch on the staff benefits. And then lastly, we do believe that if you can implement the strategic or the corporate partnership in the organization, ultimately you will become an employer of choice. So you will attract the talent that is desirable. Let's start in discussing the pathway to certification, and what I would like to discuss with you is the membership categories. And I would invite everybody to decide as I go through this slide, where do you fit in, where do you find a home? Now, I know that for some of you, you are already a member of the FPI. You might be holding the CFP professional designation, or for that matter, FSA, RFP, or you might be an affiliate already. But let us discuss the details around this, and I'm going to start at the CFP professional designation. For a person to get this designation, you need to have a postgraduate diploma in financial planning or a BCom honors in financial planning, and this is pitched on an NQF level 8. The experience that you need for this designation is 3 years financial planning related experience, but we also have the mentorship program. You will remember from the previous slides that I've mentioned there that the corporate can become a mentorship center. Now, this mentorship program ultimately says that you can reduce your experience up to a minimum of 1 year, but one of my following slides will talk about this a little bit more in detail. And then you will see a column there that speaks about PCE. That's the acronym for Professional Competency Exam. Now, for any person that wants the designation, you have to write this Professional Competency Exam. In the older terms, we refer to this as the board exam. And then, of course, you have to ascribe to our Code of Ethics. That's what the COE stands for. Likewise, for the FSA, what is needed there is also a qualification, experience, and exam, and the Code of Ethics, but this is on a slightly lower level. So for FSA, you need to have an NQF 6 or 7 qualification, and we confirm these qualifications, what is on the FSB fit and proper qualifications that's approved for fit and proper purposes. For the FSA, you also just need a 2-year experience, but you can also do the mentorship program for this. Our lowest designation that we offer at this point is the RFP designation. You need an NQF 5 certificate, only 1 year of experience. You need to write the exam, and then, of course, we have the Code of Ethics that's also applicable to you. I have to also mention at this point in time that the RFP designation is being phased out, and by 31st of December 2018, the RFP designation will no longer be available. At this point, it is still available for take-up by members, but with the understanding that in the next 2 years, you will then be upgrading your qualification at least to NQF 6 so that you can take up the FSA designation. Now, some of you might sit at this point and say, well, you know what, I don't really want to study. I don't necessarily need the designation. My business is running well enough. What is in this for me? So if you fall in the category where you do not necessarily want to study, or you don't have a qualification that will give you access into any of these designations, we have an affiliate category. Now, the affiliate category is for people that do not necessarily meet all of the certification standards mentioned above, but that are working with or at the FPI Corporate Partner as a licensed representative. And so there's a place for you at the FPI, and the staff benefits that I will be discussing a little bit later would also be available to you. What is nice at this point in time is that this affiliate category comes to you free of charge because of the corporate partnership agreement that we would have then with your employee or employer. At the bottom of the slide, you will see we have financial advice and financial planning. I would just like to highlight that the designation currently that's relevant to financial advice is the FSA. We are in the process of changing that to potentially an accredited financial advisor, so that will become an AFA in the near future, but for the time being the FSA remains. And then of course the designation for financial planning is the CFP professional designation. So these are the requirements, high-level requirements. I also want to highlight for you now the mentorship program and how you can reduce your experience through the mentorship program. I'm going to speak specifically about the CFP professional designation, and you will remember that I said that 3 years financial planning related experience is required. Now, you can gain the experience in either educational environment, supervisory, advisory, or non-client facing capacity at this point in time. So how does the mentorship program work? This is a very structured program where we link the mentee up with a CFP professional who will then perform the role of the mentor, and in a period, a minimum period of 1 year, you have to sign off on certain deliverables and certain achievements for the FPI to consider that. This is quite an exciting program because what we find is the new financial advisor or new financial planner that goes through a mentorship program comes out after the period a much more rounded and holistic financial advisor or financial planner, which is capable of much more than if a person just goes through the normal 3 years, do what I need to do, that is contained in my job profile. So I do advise for any person that wants to achieve that holistic development in your own career is that the mentorship program is definitely an area for you that you can consider. Now, there might still be some of you that say, you know what, yeah, I really don't want to study, but I also don't want the affiliate. I want to get the CFP professional designation. There is some good news for you. What we've introduced recently is what we call the challenge status exam. Now, all that this means is a person may think that they have enough knowledge and experience that they can challenge the CFP professional competency exam and pass it. So that's where the challenge exam comes from. So ultimately, I am now also challenging you. Consider if any of the following is relevant to you, and then you could apply to write this challenge exam. The first thing that we look at is certain advanced degrees. This has to be on an NQF 8 level, and it's inclusive of qualifications such as a BCom Honours in Investment Planning, BCom Honours in Taxation, certain master's degrees, many other honours degrees or advanced diplomas that has somewhere a linkage with financial planning. That could include financial management, it could include accounting, it could include economics. So what I would advise to you is go and find the challenge exam brochure on the FPI webpage at www.fpi.co.za and go and see if the qualification that you hold are included in the list of pre-approved qualifications. Alternatively, we also consider some professional credentials. Now, these would include if you have a designation with another professional body. The ones that are approved at this point in time is if you have the designation from the South African Institute of Tax Practitioners. We also acknowledge the Chartered Accountant designation through SAICA. If you're affiliated to the Law Association, you practice financial planning, that would also count. And there are some others also that you can have a look at. Now, you need to meet either the degree or the credential, plus then you have to have 10 years client-facing experience. Our firm belief is, although you might not have the holistic financial planning qualification, your experience that you have gained together with the more focused qualification that you may hold, both of these are required to make you successful in this exam. So we have increased the experience requirement to 10 years here. Please go and find the information on our webpage if you are interested in that, or drop us an email and we will send it on to you. Now I'm getting to the exciting bit. So what is in it for you? What is the staff benefits that's associated to each person that belongs to the FPI and that is employed by the corporate partner? Now, if you are a designation holder, you will see that some of these benefits are already applicable to you. And then, of course, if you are not a designation holder but you want to become an affiliate member of the FPI, this is what you will get for this. Ultimately, this is valued over $6,000 per member. So the first thing that you would qualify for is an approximate 10% discount voucher to any of the FPI CPD events and e-subscriptions. Again, you might say to me, well, you know what, if I'm not a designation holder at this point, I don't need to do CPD, so why would I be interested in this? We are in close cooperation and collaboration with the Financial Services Board, and their plans are to institute CPD for the industry in the very near future. The FPI is positioned to also assist any advisor or any planner in the industry that does not belong to a professional body, where you can come and take up the affiliate membership, and we can provide you on the one side with CPD, so you can earn your CPD through the FPI, but on the other side a platform where you can record your CPD that you're earning. So in the very near future, I do see that CPD for the industry is becoming a reality. A next discount that we offer to you is a 10% discount on the annual membership fee, and this is very relevant to the designation holders. Currently, this year, we have offered a 7% discount to all of our designation holders. If the company that you are employed at takes up the corporate partnership, which in this case most of you will be in that position, you would qualify for a 10% discount on the annual membership fee. So that's an increase of 3 additional percentage points in terms of your discount. What we're also doing is that we're waiving the application fee to the value of $750 for people working at the corporate partner that wants to take up designated membership. All licensed representatives can become FPI affiliated at no cost, and I'm hoping that at this point you are sitting up straight and that this sinks in. Anybody that's not currently affiliated with the FPI can be affiliated through this membership category, and it's not going to cost you a cent. So please contact us so that we can get you on board. Then one of the other opportunities that we give our corporate partners here is the opportunity to be profiled or featured in the FPI industry publications. Currently we have 2 publications. We have a monthly e-newsletter called the FPI News Brief, as well as a quarterly magazine, the Financial Planner magazine. Now the Financial Planner magazine is available both electronic and in a hard copy version. And also recently we have put the magazine on the MoneyMail app. Now at this point it's only for Apple users. I have it that they are working on an Android version, and in the very near future the magazine will then also be available for download on mobile devices if you run by Android. That's still not all. There's still some more benefits. Now all of these members, then whether you're designated or not, you get access to free CPD webinars, and you can earn up to 15 CPD points including ethics. You will get free subscription to the LexisNexis online financial and legislation news. Now this is valued at about 2,000 Rand at this point in time, and you can access this only through the FPI webpage if you are a member of the FPI. As I mentioned, we have the 2 communication platforms, the newsletter, the FPI newsletter called the FPI News Brief, as well as then the electronic financial planner magazine. Everybody gets then the electronic version. You will get access to some of the member tools on the FPI website. And I think this is something that everybody can familiarize themselves or find that this is very relevant. I think a lot of what we do in the financial services industry is building relationships and building networks. So by you becoming an affiliate member then of the FPI means that you will be part of this community of professionals and you can start expanding on your networks, not only out of a professional type of a perspective, but also ultimately in terms of networking with clients. Then we also have the opportunity for anybody that's affiliated through the corporate partnership to participate in the FPI consumer pro bono initiatives, and the next slide will talk a little bit more around that. As the FPI, and if you remember the mission statement that I've given you, it's very important that we do protect the consumer. And one of the ways that we do that is through consumer education. So it's important for us that there is some form of giving back into the consumer, into the clients that we do serve. Now we have some FPI initiatives that we roll out on an annual basis, and our members participate on this. So just to give you an example, in 2015 we have participated on 285 different consumer platforms. Now it could have been the wedding and retirement expos that you see there, but it's also at exhibitions on other places. It's offering the My Money 123, which is a computer literacy program, many different ways that we can engage also with consumers. And in 2015 we've done so 285 times. Now every year we have Financial Planning Week, and it's normally around September. So the financial planning this year is 5 to 9 September, if I remember correctly. But please do make sure that from now on going forward that you do plan to participate in Financial Planning Week. It's an excellent initiative where you get to give back on the one side, but then the other side also gain exposure into new clients. We have the FPI My Money 123. Now basically this is a financial literacy program. So what we ask of our members is please go and offer this financial literacy program. It takes about 45 minutes to an hour. And it deals with three aspects. It deals with debt, how do you manage your debt? Then secondly is budgeting, how do you put your budget together and how do you manage that then? And lastly is savings. So the FPI provide all of the learning content. So you don't have to incur any expense apart from getting to the venue and giving your time to offer this program to consumers. We will be providing the booklets, the slideshow presentation, and all of the handouts that you can give to the clients. My last agenda point is looking at the financial planning landscape in South Africa. And I always find this information quite interesting. If we look at the FSB list, give and take a few thousand here and there, it is reported that there's approximately 100,000 licensed representatives, and this is spread around or over various categories. Now the FPI guesstimate is that of these 100,000, there's about 40,000 financial advisors, people like you, that is in a position to offer multiple solutions to your consumer. So you may be offering risk products together with some investment and advice, or you may have some retirement products that you do with some tax planning initiatives. Whatever the case might be, how you are playing in this field, we do see that our corporate partners representatives make up this 40,000 financial advisors. Of these, 10% or just over 10% of them are then indeed CFP professionals. So you can see that getting the designation, specifically the CFP professional designation, is the pinnacle of financial planning and financial advice in South Africa. And my invitation to you today is aspire and work towards getting this designation. Now, I'm sure that you're thinking at this point in time, yeah, sure, so, do I really need it? Is it going to increase my bottom line? Am I going to get more clients? Let me share with you what the Comparator firm research findings has showed us on these things. First of all, this was a worldwide research that was conducted in 2014. South Africa also participated in that. In total, 12 countries participated, with 92 employers of financial planners and financial advisors have participated. You can see there the total of 120,000 advisors that participated, and of these, 11,500 was CFP professionals. So what was the findings? First finding is that they have established that CFP professionals are more productive and profitable. And I think this slide indicates that quite clearly, where they say 69% of CFP professionals have a higher rate of growth of assets under management. They generate a higher revenue. 66% are more productive, and 62% then generate a higher profit for the organization. If you look at this and you think about, so what does this mean actually? It means that being a CFP professional, you are just so much more employable. You become an employee of choice, where people or organizations would then say, hang on, if I take on a CFP professional, it means that I can generate a higher income. I will be more productive. I will grow my assets under management. So ultimately, it's a win-win situation, not just for the individual that takes up this designation, but also for the employer that employs this person. To continue with the results, they also found that CFP professionals equate to having satisfied clients. So you can see then increased client retention, CFP professionals help differentiate the business, increased client satisfaction is also then on the rise if you are working with a CFP professional. So this also indicates a little bit around what the client says working with a CFP professional is like. I think something that's very important for the employers is that having a CFP professional will lower your compliance risk and complaints, and there you can see it. If you can, just by employing the right person, lower your corporate risk and your and less client complaints, why would you not want to employ then a CFP professional? Now, just as an example, and I don't have the exact figures, but if you look at the phase ombud determinations over the last, let's say, 3-4 years, you can see every year how those complaints are increasing. And I remember a figure of over 2,000 complaints that has been received by the phase ombud in a recent year. Now, what's nice for me to mention at this point in time is that of those 2,000 plus complaints, about 2 or 3 of those complaints involved a CFP professional. Of those complaints, even less than that went through to a determination. We are very proud of the fact that CFP professionals are very, very rarely finding themselves with a determination against them. Again, making it a better choice for the organization to employ a CFP professional. The last slide that I would like to share with you of the results is that they indicated that CFP professionals make great employees. So there's longer terms of employment, there's better chances of career advancement, and then also these firms indicate that 97% of them assist their people to study towards the CFP professional designation. And I know of many of our corporate partners at this point in time that have training budgets available where you can go and study the postgraduate diploma at one of our preferred providers. So all in all, you can see that having the designation, even in South Africa, is gaining momentum, and it is showing the support from the employers to employ more and more CFP professionals, but also to assist them in getting that designation. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings me to my last slide. I'm thanking you for your time listening to this presentation, and I'm hoping that I am inviting you very soon into the FPI fold. Just highlighting our contact details. If you want to get in touch with us, you can see the telephone number there as well as the website, and you're welcome also to send us an email at membership@fpi.co.za. Thank you and enjoy your day.